This right here is the Insta360 Link Webcam. Insta360 sent me this out to test and review, and to be fully transparent, originally I was a little hesitant because I don't really use webcams. A lot of people take their webcams seriously, and for me, I've always just used whatever's on the MacBook Pro or whatever's on my monitor or my phone, whatever it is, it just kind of works for me. That was until I actually got this thing and got to test it out, and it's pretty awesome. I'm going to keep this review short and simple and just go through some of the key features of this thing. So this little camera has a 1/2-inch sensor which produces 4K video, and it has a fixed 1.8 aperture, which means you actually get a nice little depth of field background whenever you're using this thing optically instead of digitally, which is always a nice look. The camera is set on a 3-axis gimbal, and that is set on this base, which has a little 1/4 20-inch screw, so you can either mount it to a tripod like I have here, or you can use the hinge to connect it to any screen. I found myself, ever since I got this, just throwing it on top of my MacBook Pro, and it's really an easy way to replace the webcam that's on here and get that extra quality that this thing offers. The reason that this camera has a gimbal is that it has an internal AI algorithm which tracks your face and your movements whenever you are on a call. What stood out to me when I originally unboxed this is the fact that I just plugged it into my computer and I was good to go. I didn't need to download any second software to set up everything and make sure that it's all working. It was just ready to go. I learned all the gestures and I was able to use it right out of the box. So you can either use this right out of the box, or if you want to really get the most out of it, you can download the software which allows you to control the gimbal manually. You can adjust all the image settings. It's a very nice software that's incredibly easy to use, and I was actually using it hand in hand with a Zoom meeting this morning where I had my Zoom up and I was able to go back to the controller and kind of adjust my settings as the meeting went on. One benefit to using the software is that it lets you go into portrait mode with the gimbal. This is great for FaceTimes or any mobile type streaming. Now I did notice some gimbal issues whenever the camera was upright, so you definitely need to use it on a tripod so you can tilt it to the side and use the full axis of the gimbal. One feature worth noting here is that whenever you're done using it and you exit out of whatever program you're using, the camera physically points down, so it's not looking at anything. You don't have to worry about your privacy being at stake for whatever reason. So those are the key features of this webcam. Let's get into the nitty-gritty and I'll show you the camera quality and the audio quality. All right, so I'm fully switched over to the webcam using the webcam audio and the video, and I'm recording it into the controller program. So we'll see how this looks. I'm going to do some of the tests and kind of see real world what it's like using this thing. Lighting wise, I do have some lights in here. I'll try and show you it. Use the gesture there. Okay, now it's tracking me. So I have a light here, and I'll move around, and I have a light here. These aren't necessarily like hitting me. I'm pretty much just using the natural light that's in my office, but just so you know, there is some lighting in here. So this isn't completely natural, but I needed it so I could record this other video here. Going through the basic functions of this, basically when you plug it in and you start your call, you throw your hand up like this. That means it's going to track it. And now it's going to track me around. The tracking is pretty responsive. Of course, it does lag a little bit. But I mean, if you're doing a video call and you're talking here and then you move around here, it's going to track you very nice. It's great. So say if I want to show you something on the other side of the office, like my dirty shelf, look at that dirty shelf. You can see that. And then if I want to show you a messy desk, look at this messy desk back here. Very responsive, super nice to use. I'm curious how this audio will sound when I get back into editing this video. But I mean, just from what I can see here from the actual preview screen, this looks really good and crisp. I'm going to pull up Photo Booth real quick and use the MacBook Pro camera and just kind of test between the two so I can show you the difference here. Okay, so now I'm recording on both the Insta360 and the MacBook Pro webcam. Now this is the M1 Max MacBook Pro, so this is a pretty new computer. So this should have pretty much the newest camera in the Mac computer. But there's obviously a huge jump in quality between the Insta360 and this. Not to say that this doesn't work for Zoom calls, because for most people it absolutely does. But if you do want a little bit of a crispier look, then this is definitely going to help you here. All right, so here's more of a real world test where I'm in my living room, literally just using whatever lighting is around me with a little bit of daylight left outside. So this is kind of what it's going to look like for most people who are using this webcam. Not everybody's going to have professional lights set up. I'm going to test out right now the audio on this mic, which is a dual noise canceling microphone. So I'm going to turn up the TV in the background and see kind of how it sounds. All right, so I've got a basketball game going on in the background to see kind of how the noise canceling works and to see how my voice cuts through background noise. If I'm working in a coffee shop or something like that, then this would be very useful for me. All right, and finally we have a low light test. I am using this during the evening. It's about 5:30 p.m. and the sun, I'll show you here. The sun is pretty much set and it is pretty dark in here and incredibly messy. Pretty much any webcam is going to do fine for the most part in low light because you're just reflecting the light from your monitor into your face, so it kind of acts as its own light. Here it is at full brightness on the MacBook Pro screen, and it looks pretty good. I don't think you'll have any issues using this in low light whatsoever. And of course, that 1/2-inch sensor is going to definitely help with the light levels in the camera. It's going to be a little noisy in the background, but I think overall this looks pretty great. And this pretty much sums up this webcam. Now, I really enjoy this thing, and maybe it's because I've never really used other webcams in the past, but I just think that how versatile this thing is and what it offers, I really do think that there are a lot of benefits to having this webcam for Twitch streamers or people who work from home. Whatever it is, there's probably a use case for it. If you're interested in this product, I'll be sure to leave a link in the description so you can check it out for yourself. If you liked this video and you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks again for watching. I will see you all in the next one.